hello, or should I say hey, or moi, or, or even hiva piva. Um, this is the first of two videos about Finland, um, or commonly known in Finland as Suomi. Um, what I want to be clear is that yes, my channel does say Scandinavian Appreciation Society, and I'm aware that geographically Finland isn't actually part of Scandinavia. I mean, that sounds strange, but no, it's a Nordic country, and it's in a group of Nordic countries, and of course the language is and they speak a very different language, but you know, because of the close association with the other Scandinavian countries, and the part of the Nordic group, and they have a very similar flag. It makes sense to talk about this sort of thing. But nonetheless, it is Nordic. My interest stems not from just the fact that it's Nordic, but from my own life working and struggling on benefits. So I got an interest in this sort of subject, and because it's quite personal to me, and so what I'd like to say about this thing and this subject is Finland's UBI project was a government social experiment which began in 2017. It lasted 2 years and consisted of 2,000 participants who were given €5,600 a month. They were from the ages of 25 to 58 years. The basic idea was to see if UBI would increase the likelihood of people gaining full employment, and this is a social experiment just to try and reform social security and a welfare system in Finland. The basis that would be that they would receive this benefit regardless of whether they were able to obtain employment, or even if they won the lottery and gained a lot of money, they would still be on this universal basic income in the constraints of the experiment. This was instigated by the Finnish social insurance agency Kela. Also with the UBI project or experiment, whatever you like to call it, there will be no reduction in the payment if they obtain employment, or even if they lost their job during that period, and there's no obligation to find a job while they are on this UBI. The UBI would not be affected by tax rises, about the level of taxation, in other words. It would be the same as their normal benefit that they would get. Not the highest benefit, but the basic benefit. Now I just want to mention Sweden because I think this has some social connection, and has some relevance to the whole subject. Finland's neighbours have a strong social security net and have nearly always had low unemployment. But this is no social experiment, but it's more of a trend with the Nordic countries. It has been for many years, since I believe since the last World War. So, you know, this is having then Sweden in particular is notorious for having most complicated, efficient, I think that's the word, social security and welfare state in the world, and so they're used to this kind of thing. That, you know, when you think of Scandinavia, you think of high standards of living and high welfare costs, and or, you know, lots of different, you know, benefits for different things, not just the unemployment benefit but for paternity leave, maternity leave, sick pay, redundancy pay, all that sort of thing. So it's relevant to Finland as well, and but unemployment at the time of the survey was 9.7, so it's quite high. So it may not be the best time for this experiment to happen. Anyway, the results of the UBL experiment over the 2-year period show that there was a slight improvement in the participants obtaining full employment. Not significant, not substantially, not a substantial improvement, only hardly noticeable. And I'm not putting it down, because I personally think it's a good idea. The general well-being of the participants was eased significantly by this scheme, and they had a more favourable view of bureaucracy, and they felt better as people. They were under no pressure, which helps. It helps to alleviate the stress, and they could obtain part-time temporary jobs without worrying about losing their benefits, well, losing this particular benefit. So that's good. So it continued from 2017. No, it carried on from 2017 to 2019. It was discontinued in 2019, obviously. Now there are lots of reasons. Now I've said some very positive things about it, but then perhaps I'm a little bit biased given my situation. But there were lots of other factors involved which made it not feasible or not economical to continue. Now, the one who instigated the man who instigated the benefit, or the experiment rather, said that he wasn't given enough time to expand it to at least 10,000 people, and he needed longer than 2 years to properly assess and get clear results for the project. I think he needed to. He just thought that he wasn't given enough money, which would allowed him to have 10,000 participants, and so he just felt that the experiment wasn't able to show the results in a clear and precise way, and and the fact it wasn't fully costed, and it was just a certain provision that was a provisional amount that was given to this experiment. It wasn't tied to the tax. If apparently if UBI was applied to taxation, it would, for all those unemployed, to be on universal basic income, it would be a 5% tax increase. Now, some economists and politicians were not keen on the extra cost to the economy, particularly with unemployment being, as I said before, at 9.7%. And of course, ideologically, politicians on the conservative side of the political spectrum were opposed to the idea, not just because of the cost to the economy, but also they believed it was a disincentive to work and would produce a lazy, unmotivated, unemployed population. Well, yes, well, you know, that's a possibility, but as you can see, I've got the Finland flag in the background, and I want to give my my summary of what I think it would do, and I think yes, perhaps it would increase taxation, because you've got to fund whatever project you do, whatever benefit you do. But no, I think in a way it would, there would be cost saved to the economy as well, because see, the people who are on this benefit, maybe they're not obliged to apply for work, but they are still able to work. They will be much mentally healthier, much physically healthier, with that security behind them. And if they're healthier, then there's less cost to the health service in Finland, or any health service for that matter. And if they're getting a regular income, this universal income would save, not only would save these people, rather than having no benefit at all, or having the sort of system we've got here, where you've got the universal credit and sanctions. There you would have people who are, who would not be, it would be, yes, of course they'd be poor, relatively speaking, they would be poor, but they wouldn't be absolutely destitute, and therefore they'd have that security, which means they were less likely to commit crime. And of course, as you know, crime is a cost to the economy. So, and poverty is a glaring example of, a genuine cause of crime. So the cost of crime, the cost of policing, the cost of crime would go down, because people would feel more secure and less likely to commit crime in terms of, well, not all crime, but in terms of financial crime, in terms of theft or burglary or that sort of thing, I believe. And so there's savings there. but then the economy, it varies. At different times in Finland's history, it's been more productive, and the economy's been more um, what's the word? The economy has been more sort of in a better, it's more stable and in a better condition. So you've got the money, and you're more able to afford certain benefits. You're more able to afford the welfare system. But at other times, like we are at the moment, you've got to question that. I don't question that, but ideologically, does it? I don't know. Does it disincentivize people? I don't know. From my point of view, would it disincentivize me? No. It would make things easier for me to explore and better ways of making money, because I wouldn't have the pressure of taking jobs which I am not keen on doing, that would not be suitable for me, that I would likely to be unhappy in and insecure in, and if you're not working, if you're working and you're not sure whether you're going to get benefits, and you're stuck in a job, if you're worried about that, and you wouldn't be worried about that sort of thing on a universal basic income, that would help you mentally, and it would make you more productive in a job itself. So I think that's a good idea. And fundamentally, another thing I would say about this is that I believe that in this sort of idea that people should be provided for from cradle to grave. That's one of the first things I heard about when I first started learning about Scandinavia. One of the first things I heard about was that people were provided for from cradle to grave. They had a safety net, a security safety net, and I think that's a good thing. And I think that's what countries such as Finland and the other Scandinavian or Nordic countries are trying to do, and have been trying to do for years. And I think there's lots of positive things about that, because extreme poverty, is not good. It's a bad thing in so many ways. Not just health, but not just mental health, not just physical health, but mental health as well. And it's not good for the economy, and it's not good for social cohesion, and for education and all that. So yeah, I think the Nordic example I admired for a long time. It's not perfect, and it's not always the model, but it's progressive generally, and I think it's just that sort of I mean, it's a Scandinavian ideal, it's a Nordic ideal, but you've got to have something. You've got to have ideals to aim for in order to make them reality, and to try to make the society better, fairer, more just, is something I firmly believe in. And I think of all the countries and all the groups of countries in the world, the Nordic countries have been the closest to what humanity should be aiming for in general. So I just want to so that's my summary, and that's my thoughts. And and I hope you like my video, and you watch some more of my videos. As I said, this is the second video of no, it's the first of 2 videos rather about Finland. The next one will be about the Finnish language and its uniqueness and its difference from the other Nordic countries. So please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.